Hello. Today, we're doing something that I honestly didn't expect to do. We have a birthday in our household that we are going to be celebrating this weekend. And when the birthday girl said that she wanted something only her mother makes for dinner, I thought I was off the hook. I'm not, because I get to make the cake. And because the child is different, she wants something that doesn't make sense to me as a cake. So we're doing two things today. We're obviously going to make a cake, but we're also going to turn this into a two-parter. The first part is right here. We're going to talk about how to make a cake, and it's going to be a lovely cake. We're going to make quite a bit of it. So I will post the recipe. Don't worry about the amounts I'm using, because I'm using more than the recipe calls for so that I can make 1.5 times the cake that the recipe would otherwise spit out. So keep that in mind. And then for part two, I'm going to make buttercream icing. I'm going to make whipped cream, and we're going to obviously decorate the cake, but we're also going to make parfaits using all of the cake ingredients plus some cherry pie filling, because the child wanted some bar cake that had cherries in it, on it, whatever. We're going to make it work. We're going to have a cake for the normies and then a parfait for our dear birthday girl. So that is our camera person who, if you see the camera moving a lot, it's because they're gesturing in the back. I think the last one was.
Yeah.
So first things first, oven, 350 degrees. Get it preheating. Then we have our sugar, our large amounts of sugar in our mixing bowl. And we're going to add butter to that. Now, I've reviewed a lot of recipes to make this cake. It's what I do for just about anything that I make, at least the first couple times. You can, if you want, mix butter and vegetable oil half and half to cut down on the amount of butter you're using. I personally prefer butter. This is room temperature, so it is soft and squishy, which is good, because if it wasn't room temperature, we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So that goes into the mixing bowl. We put our paddle attachment on. Get down. And now we want to cream our sugar, which is just a fancy term for beat it until it and the butter come together and are nice, light, and fluffy, which takes a bit. But as you can see, if you can see in here, you can see it's already starting to come together. Up the speed to medium. Maybe not quite so medium. There we go. Now, we can leave this go for a little bit so that it can get fluffier. While that's doing its thing, I want to talk to you about flour and the other dry ingredients. I've saved you the hassle of having to watch me do this for the most part. But in this bowl are a large quantity of sifted cake flour. Sifted. That means taking your flour and passing it through one of these. I hate it. I hate doing it, but sometimes that's important if you want your cake to be lighter and fluffier. Now, I love when my mixer just throws things at me. That's fantastic. What I have still in the sifter is the baking powder, not soda, powder, and the salt that we'll need. And I'm just showing you all I do to sift is bang on that. And then any hard parts force through the sifter so that you have no clumps. Yay! That is how you sift. I 100% recommend, if you can find a way to not have to sift, don't sift. But sometimes It's necessary. All right, let's come back here and look at our mixer, which is doing pretty good. It's pretty light in color, but I want to give it a little more time because I want it to come closer to white in color, because that means that the sugar and the butter are really, really incorporated. And also there's just a touch of air added in, which again helps with that whole light and fluffy thing. All right, back to it, guys. Okay. Give it the spurs! Faster! Oh yeah. There it goes. You can see it's actually lightening even as we watch. All right. I think that'll do. Okay. Next up, we are going to work with some eggs. But we want to scrape this down first. Nice and fluffy. Yes. I know, I'm mumbling to myself, I'm sorry. It's a thing. So, in this case, I'm going to be using 6 eggs. But first, I'm going to put the KitchenAid thing back in here and retighten the screw, which apparently comes loose from the vibrations in the mixer. Okay, so 1 egg. 2 egg. Please don't have any shell fall in. Please, please, please. 3 eggs. 4 eggs. 5 eggs. Oh, come on. There you go. 6 eggs. All right. Rinse my hands here. Always want to make sure that when you are cooking or baking with anything poultry, that you're washing your hands to avoid any possibility of getting salmonella everywhere. Okay, now at this stage we do not want to make a mess, so we start on low. And then we can turn up the speed. While that's going, we're going to add our vanilla. Very carefully. There we go. All right. Nicely incorporated. All right, so we've got our eggs and our butter and sugar all happy and mixed together with some vanilla. I had forgotten something, which is why we took a quick pause. I needed 1.5 cups of whole milk, but I don't have whole milk. So what I have here is 3/4 cup of water and 3/4 cup of heavy cream, because together they approximate whole milk. The other thing that you could do is to use the same amount of 2% milk and add 2 tablespoons of melted butter per cup, which will approximate the fat content of whole milk. We don't keep whole milk in the house, and we haven't since the children all left toddlerhood because they don't need it anymore. And my wife was never a huge fan because she felt like she was chewing when she was drinking her milk. Okay, whatever. So what we're going to do is we are going to alternate amounts of the dry and milk, mixing in little bits as we go. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to on low. Because if you think eggs might make a mess, flour certainly will. Oh, there's my oven. It is preheated. Hooray! About half of this. Well, not even half of this. 3/4. Or quarter? I don't know. Math ain't mathin' today, Harley.
Math never maths for me.
Well, usually I'm good at it. It's just, it's the weekend, and my brain says, no more. You deal with numbers all week. Shut up. Okay. Here we go. Scraping down. No batter left behind. All right. Again, we go on low so that we don't manage to poof up the sugar all over us.
Yeah. I don't think Mom would be happy.
No, your mother definitely would not be happy if her kitchen was covered in flour.
Yeah.
I mean, she already thoroughly loves when I do anything in the kitchen because I make a mess. All right, now we're going to add another portion of this. Okay. Slow and steady. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Nice and silken. No, you do not want to stick your finger in this and taste it. Definitely not a good idea, child. Do this batch of the flour, and then the rest of the milk, scrape it down one more time and follow with the final batch of flour. Which will complete our batter.
Oh yeah.
I know you're excited. Thank you for the Hannibal Lecter-like noise, Harley.
Oh, you're welcome.
Goes our milk. Okay. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Okay. It's a nice looking batter. Nice and silky. Our final batch of flour goes in. Yeah, the angles. There we go. All right. Almost there. This is perhaps the most dangerous time to add the flour because it's up near the top.
Yeah.
So if you go too fast,
I was watching it slowly go up and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it could be bad. But, alright, because I don't want to overmix this. Everybody looks like they're incorporated, except the stuff around the sides. I can do that by hand. So I'm going to scrape this off. Harley, my camera person, is currently laughing because they can hear their mother yelling at the dog outside. I don't know if I've told this story ever. Well, not even a story, just this facet about our household canine. He's an idiot. He is the dumbest animal on earth. I am fully convinced of that. Watched him chase a car and then get confused when the car stopped. Okay, so do a little bit of mixing to get the rest of that flour in. Doesn't take much. Don't want to overbeat the batter. I'm not looking to make bread. That was last week. Well, pretzels last week, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. Now, what I have prepared is 3 9-inch cake pans with a piece of parchment paper on the bottom. Could you portion this out using a scale and get incredibly accurate measurements? Absolutely, you could. You absolutely could. Thing is, not all home cooks have scales. So, how do you do it so it's even? Carefully. The answer is carefully. Try to take the same amount per scoop every time.
This will come out.
Nope. It does not want to come out of the scooper. For me,
I was facing this problem when I helped you with the cupcakes.
you were absolutely dealing with this problem when you made cupcakes for your mom's birthday celebration. 2, 3. We're going to do 4 and then do 4 in the other 2, and then we'll go
From there.
from there. That's right. We will go from there.
I've learned.
All right. 1. Is this perfect? No. Why do I ask myself so many questions on these videos? I don't know. It's just a thing.
He's crazy.
Well, yeah, I am. Just a little bit crazy. 3. 4. All we're doing is trying the best we can to get them even. This is not a cake for sale. This is not a cake for, a competition. This is a cake for the family. It does not have to be perfect, and if you think that your family requires you to have a perfect cake, you should get another family.
Yeah.
Because they're not good for you. At least not good for your mental health. And mental health is something that's important. Right?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so 4. This will be 5. This could take a while. All right, once you've got your massive piles of batter portioned out, you want to spread it so that it reaches all corners of the pan. And then we're going to do one of the most cathartic things that you can do as a baker. We're not there yet. Got to spread this first. Yes, Harley, we are going to slam the pans. We do this 3 times, just in case to get rid of any bubbles.
Try not to break the counter, Dad.
I'm not trying to break the counter, Harley. Smart ass. Okay, so now that we've got our batter in its pans, we've knocked it down to pop the bubbles, like that one right there that popped. It's time to go in our 350-degree oven. Now, I'm going to tell you that it goes in for half an hour. I'm going to check it either at 20 minutes. Actually, no, correct that. I'm going to check it at 15 because there are 3 of them, so I'm going to move them all around to get even browning. And then I'll check them after 10 more minutes because I'm paranoid. Also, stay close to your oven because the first line of defense in preventing burning of baked goods is your nose. If it smells delicious, chances are you should check it to make sure it's not already done. And if it is, pull it out early. So these are going in the oven. We'll be back. All right, so this actually went a half hour. Flipped them at the 15-minute mark and then flipped it again at the 25-minute mark. We're going to do a test. These are nice and brown on the sides. Stick our little tester in. Clean. That's actually a piece of actual done cake. Tasty. Also clean. So, out we come and onto a cooling rack to allow air to circulate around the cakes. I'm going to leave these on the cooling rack for 5-10 minutes. And then we're going to depan the cakes so that they can finish cooling outside of the pan. We'll be back. All right, folks. So they've cooled a bit. The pans I can actually touch. So I'm going to go around the edge with butter knife just to make sure that it's loosened up. Take a plate, flip, and pray. Oh, yes! Oh, yes, that is beautiful. All I have to do now is take that off. Look at that. That is lovely. And it smells awesome. There. I'm going to do that 2 more times, and then the cake will cool the rest of the way. If you want to see what comes next, the decorating process and how to make the icing, next week. If you like this video, hit like, hit share it with people, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next week.